All right, guys. So today, again, we are talking about the hips because they don't lie, as we like to say. Okay, I got a request from a friend of mine who's going into physical therapy realm. She wanted my take on hip adduction. Not adduction, abduction. Abduction, which is out and away from the body, okay? So she wanted my kind of input on what I think of weak abductors and kind of their importance, okay? So not only are they important in just simply being able to move the leg out, which I find to be very important when it comes to things like lateral movement. So if I need to actually move from side to side, whether that's in like soccer, basketball, even in day-to-day life, being able to move quickly from things, okay? Because we're all about being fit for life. So things that translate to my everyday life that make it easier for me to perform all the tasks that I need to be able to actually move my foot out to the side to get that underneath me. If I can't properly move that, that's when you get people who fall because my foot is not going to be there for me to balance on, okay? So not only is important in that they act a little bit in some rotation, but the biggest thing is the muscles that act in pulling your hip out, because they attach to the top of your hip and top of your femur on the sides of your pelvis. What they then do is stabilize that pelvis from shifting side to side. So if I am weak there, what ends up happening, if I can't stabilize in this position, what my hip ends up doing, dropping essentially. So the easiest way to show you is that my hip would actually, I would be off center like this. So I would have one hip above the other. And that's if I was just standing. So the importance with that is you get people as they start to walk, if they're weak there, because when I go to lift my foot, because I can't stabilize there, I have to lift with my low back to get that leg up. So I actually have to lift with my back instead. I'm starting to compensate because I can't actually keep my pelvis neutral as I walk. So as I start to walk, it wants to do this and it wants to shift. So it wants to fall to the side, okay? So that's the biggest reason why those are important, okay? Yeah, it's nice if I can move side to side, but if I can't stabilize my pelvis, that's leading to all sorts of issues that I don't really want, okay? So if that shifts to the side, not only does that leave me compromised through my core, which means I'm compromised through that low back, which means I'm shifted out of place, keeps one side tight, one side loose. I start putting pressure through the nerves and the discs that are in my spine, okay? But I also start putting pressure through my hip as well, okay? So I start putting abnormal pressure because my hip's not lined up like it should be. It's not neutral, it's out to the side a little bit. So I start not only getting wear and tear through that direction, but I put abnormal strain on all the muscles that actually surround it as well, okay? Remember guys, your body's a machine, so everything's designed to work together. So if one thing is lacking, something's gonna try and pick up slack, like my low back is gonna try and pull that pelvis up to the side because those muscles are not doing their job. But also everything else then has to also compensate for that awkward movement for me to try and come back to somewhat normal of a gait, okay? So that's my take on the importance of those abductors, abductors as we like to say. I'll do a follow-up to this for you guys as well. We talked about hip flexion, and I was gonna, and I'll submit that video for you guys to see some exercises kind of help with tissue impingements there. But we'll go over some exercises that actually help strengthen those areas. Easy enough, is a lot of them are going to be actually in that motion. But there's a couple odd ones that we like to use at the clinic as well. Some of these will probably be pretty familiar to my friend. But Kaylee, hope you enjoy my take on things, and I hope everybody else does as well. As always guys, until next time, live, lift, love.